I'm now okay to grow.
What do you mean by that?
Well, before, the thought of growing past where I was just seemed like stress.
Have you taught your team PSR? What a game changer that is.
Yeah, it's working. It's working for the guys. But now it also means I don't have to solve every problem.
How have you evolved as a leader over the past couple of years?
I suppose this time I had to see my downfalls. Like my ability to go, oh yeah, I'll do that. That was my worst thing.
What would you say to a building company owner who's maybe stuck, they've plateaued, or they're just, the business isn't going how they want? Running a building company can feel like you're on an island. You're dealing with problems every day that your friends, your family, nobody outside this industry really understands. That's one of the reasons that we started TPB On Site. These are building company owners who are exactly where you might be right now, wondering if there's a better way to run the business. And they've come through the other side. They've put the work in and their businesses now look completely different because of it. And that's what this show is about. We go on site with our members, we walk through their builds, and they show you exactly what they've implemented, how it's changed the way they run their business, how it's added more profit, systemized their time, and the mindset blocks that they had to overcome to put these systems in place.
Okay. Yeah. They built the one at the back just before I bought this one.
Yeah.
Because we bought this about 6 years ago. It was like the worst house on the street.
Perfect. That's what your house want, right? Worst house, best street.
We've half done it, and it's like getting there. Yeah, but
it's a nice table.
We'll get there eventually.
Happy days.
The old adage is true. The builder's house is definitely last. My poor wife.
Yeah, like the plumber's leaky taps. And
every time we get like, oh yeah, we got a gap. I was like, okay, I'll get a builder around. We'll do something.
Yeah.
And then it won't get finished. Yeah.
How good is the vista here? It's great.
I thought we'd sit downstairs.
Yeah, absolutely. Wherever.
And I've kind of hidden them off, and now I never see the poor people, but they get some privacy. If you actually scan that, I'm not joking, if you could scan it, if it would work. I've tried scanning it, it doesn't work. That's a proper replica off the back of a bag of potatoes.
No way.
As an Irish.
What flavor?
As an Irishman. No, as just plain old big 4 kg bag of potatoes.
So how long have you been here?
In this house?
Oh, in New Zealand.
16 years now.
Wow.
Only came for a holiday.
Oh, really?
Oh, happy days.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
This is my wife's OE. So I did mine, and after work she went working.
Yeah.
And then GFC hit.
What's she doing now?
She now works for Chain as well.
Okay.
So
awesome.
She was just kind of lazily doing the books and all the boring stuff, but now, thanks to James, we've elevated her.
Awesome.
And we're getting her a VA, and I'm going to stop doing that.
Look at that.
Dude, how good is your setup here? You wouldn't expect it from...
No.
This is epic.
So, you only threw this in about a year and a half ago?
This is mean. You've packed a lot into the square footage.
This is wrecked, yeah.
This looks great.
Yeah, this place was an absolute wreck. Yeah.
James, this is epic. I love it. We've just bought a house in Darwin Lane in the Iraqi Basin, and it's got a similar sort of deck and pool and so forth and fire to your setup.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
So you're going to move there?
Yeah, on February the 3rd.
Oh, sweet.
I'm going to sit out of the sun. Are these Luvatech or what's this?
No, it's a different company. A change in my mindset. I'd always be doing a bit of work on it now myself and tipping away, and now I go, no.
Just work on the business and get one of your guys to do it.
Business and get the guys to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Way more money in there.
Exactly.
Whenever I can.
Some people don't come to that realization at all.
You know, it's weird. Like, I took it over because I go through all the stories of other people that do it, and it keeps like, oh yeah, okay, guys were in a bad way and they really needed it. And I was like, oh, I was always doing okay. Like I could read a spreadsheet, could look across profit and loss.
Yep.
I could find where I was losing money, and I could find what was working, what wasn't, and I could do well with clients and go so far. Because I doubled the size of the business when I took it over.
So did you buy it, or what happened when you took it over?
This is the company that sponsored me to move to New Zealand.
Ah,
so
right, okay.
Guy who originally had it, he sponsored me.
Yeah.
And then about a week after my sponsorship was up, your 2-year sponsorship, and you know, you get like the name of the company in your passport. So it was just up, and that was when I was free to go work for anyone. And he literally did it about a week or a week and a day later. He came in with the offer to go, hey, do you want to buy into the company?
Awesome.
Instead of losing me.
Yeah,
so,
walk me through that.
So he was winding me down, the company down for years. He had wound it into kind of more like didn't want the stress. He just needed an income, and he had created a perfect company that was an income for him.
Awesome.
And it was great. It was a good company, great contacts. Used to be huge back in the day. It was big and more commercial.
Sure.
At its height, going back decades and decades, it had like 50 staff.
Right, okay.
So it used to be a big beast. And he, was with me. He had like 6 guys. Just happy to go slow and do that. So once we took over, then it was like, okay, we kind of just found our fate, didn't do much over a few years. And then as soon as I fully took over and became the managing director, we were like, right.
So did you buy it outright, or did he leave in some vendor finance, or how did you structure the deal?
So he took his cash out of the business, because obviously the business is cash, whatever the assets it owns, vehicles, plant, machinery, and then its ability to earn. So he pulled out the cash. He actually kind of left the assets pretty much in it, because it didn't have as much as it does today. But he was like, look, we all have we had 3 vehicles, they were all pretty older. He's like, it wasn't too bad, and some wrecked old trailers and some scaffolding that he's had forever. So he's like, let's leave that alone. And then he came up with a ratio. Yeah,
what sort of multiple did you get? Like typically most building companies that we've sold with members, and it's probably been about 35, 40, they're typically multiple between 2.5 to 3.5. Most of them are in the 2.7 to 3. So if they make 100 grand profit, then they're worth sort of 300k sale price.
Yeah, we got sub 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good for you.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was a great deal. Like, he's still a family friend, a close friend today.
Awesome.
He just wanted the business to carry on. So it wasn't about making a big profit for him.
Yep.
He more so wanted to see it continue and do that. So we were happy with that. So 2 foremen, 2 of us bought it. And then I took over, and then I took over more shares, and I.
So did you buy it 50-50, or had the
50-50? Yeah.
Sure. And have you bought the other guy out, or
no? He's not out yet. No. So he's 61 next year. So we're buying him down now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
We'll buy him down, and then fast forward far into the future, we'll bring someone else in, and we'll already looking to that.
It's a great chapter in there, chapter 8, on structuring a buy-in and what to look for
I've used this
shareholder agreement, etc.
in peacehold, like going, this is what's most important to me now. So I kind of sit on my bed, locker, and go, oh yeah, I'm too tired. I'll have a read of that bit, and then as it evolves, it's weird, because you kind of then you read it again. So like as I've started going through some of these items, and I've done something, then I'll go, actually, you know what, I'm gonna try that out, and I'm gonna do it again, because the person I am now is different than the person I was 6 months ago. So as you get better at it, I think you need to refocus it and do it all again. Yeah,
and you get a different depth and different take on things as you actually do them. Like throwaway lines like, you don't grow your business, you grow your team, and the team grow the business. And when you're like beginning or early on, you're like, yeah, that makes sense, cool. But when you actually, like, we've grown this year from 32 people to 100 people. And it's not so much about what I do now, it's about how we hire world-class people, how we onboard them, how we train them, how we drill them, how we hold them accountable to their scorecard, and how they follow and improve the SOPs in the business. And you're like, this is what it truly means to know, understand, and implement something.
Yeah. Look, and that's where we got stuck. Because we did quite well doubling the business. But I've kind of found...
So where was the business at when you bought it? What was it doing revenue-wise?
About 1.6, 1.7 a year. So doubling it was easy.
So how long ago was that you bought it?
When I took over fully was about 8-9 years ago.
Okay. Yep.
And when I look at that now, that was nerve-wracking then, going, how am I going to take this on and do it? And turns out it wasn't too bad. And then it wasn't too bad, and hunger kind of steps in, you're going, cool, I can do this, and I can juggle everything, and I did. And I juggled it all. Back then I was, my wife wasn't even helping with the accounts.
So did Valerie help you then, or not?
No, because my son had just been born. We've no family.
Right.
So, I remember her coming out to me in the office at 11 o'clock at night going,
do you need some help?
I think you need to come in or just take a break. But it was great. It was fueled on then, and then you're fueled on that mad energy, and you're excited, and it was great, and I had loads of work. But then we kind of, you'd hit a ceiling, and you kind of go, each time you grow so far, you realise it becomes stressful. And no matter how well you plan it, and you kind of go, great, I've got to the stage where I'm not pricing at night, I'm not doing all this stuff. But then I grow, and then I go, I'm helping the boys on site, and I'm back like nearly project managing again, solving problems. And instead of having a path to deal with it properly, you're just going to go, I'll just deal with it. It'd be easier if I just deal with it rather than get someone else to do it. So you just keep dealing with it. And then you run out of your own time for your tasks.
Yep.
About making sure you're bringing in.
And you become like a servant to everyone else in the business.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and that was the pitfall. So right before I joined TPB, that's kind of where I got to. I was really busy. We had a great year. I had loads of stuff on, but I was so busy with it. I knew it was happening.
What sort of hours were you doing?
They were starting to push back up to the 60 a week.
And what were you busy doing? Because it's very interesting, because at each level, like, I'm flat out at the moment, and we have a massive team, but I'm flat out doing like private equity stuff with looking to sell. Owen's doing a webinar today with like 500 people. I'm not doing it here with you, and I'm just doing different stuff, but I'm still uber busy. Even though I've got 90% of what I did 12 months ago off my plate, I don't do. There's someone who does that.
Yeah. Look, for the first time ever now, I guess I'm not getting pulled back onto site as much. So
Awesome.
We've created those kind of structures for the main team members to go, basically, this is it. And it didn't all take. Like, we had one team member who we had to let go. And we've had some other guys who just didn't want the change, so we've hired some new team members, and we're like, nope, cool. Before that would have stressed me out. Now I'm like, nope, it's actually nearly better. Everyone who wants to stay with us forever and grow with us are here. Everyone who doesn't is gone. And I
think that's one of the biggest things in business, is creating the culture that you want. And if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, and you don't get the level of success that you deserve. You get what you tolerate. So if you tolerate people not hitting their labour hours, showing up late, doing shit work, etc., then your world will be chaos. And quite often there's a limiting belief that a lot are like, oh, but he was great last week, or shit, but if he goes, then who am I going to get to do this work?
And that's the thing, and that's what probably happens here a lot, is that you just kind of go, there's a shortage of men, now I have to pay my guys more. And it's like, well, no, now we kind of go, look, there's a structure. If you want to sit down and have a conversation about a pay raise, you've got your KPIs, and we can review them and say, this is what you got, this is the next steps where you're meant to step up to and try work into these areas, and then we can sit down and go, now you're more value to the business. Now we can charge you out more, we can pay you more, clients will respect it, they'll know where you're at, and we can see the guys who are getting there faster, and they'll all get there, but
and I think the good people value having a scorecard. They value knowing what the score during the game is.
Puts it back in their hands. They kind of go, hey, look, I don't need to wait for the general market or a big boom or a bust market to tell me what my wage is going to be. They can go, I can work hard and do it.
Absolutely. So tell us about the structure of the business. Like, who do you have on site in the office helping you? Because I also noticed that we had a look on your website that you do a mixture of both commercial and resi. Well, on your Insta, because your website needs a bit of updating. It's got a lot of opportunity.
It's there. We got so far with the website. So
you didn't even put a photo of Valerie on there. What's going on?
No, well, that's the thing. I was like, get a photo. So no, we had to push go, because when I rebranded. So when we did this, we changed all the brand and logo. So I'm not going to start investing in all this until I make it the way I want. So we did everything, and then while I was a bit quiet and low on work, and James was like, just push go. Like, we can perfect it. We can get it right. Just get it going. Get everything out the door. So we did. So we pushed go on everything. We start pushing all the different kind of marketing levers we could. Got the website live. Got just we know what's not right. We keep making changes, and then we're going to keep making changes. So get it out the door so that
that is the key to success. Take massive action imperfectly and course adjust and correct as you go. Because the perfectionism is just apathy masquerading itself as you're trying to get everything right.
So it was me in the office, and I was doing all the QSing, all the kind of essentially even managing a lot of the project managing, going out with the foreman and kind of go, right, I'm kind of overseeing all the foremen as well, having all the meetings with engineers, architects, clients, everyone, piling it all in. And then when you get busy, it's like, okay, I'm back to now squeezing all my pricing and back costing falling by the wayside. You're going, right, I know the ones, okay, I know I've made money on that job, but I haven't got time to back cost every part of it. It was me doing all of that, and it was Valerie just doing the accounts and the invoicing. And then we had a couple of foremen on site, and then just a bunch of builders and apprentices, different level, that we would move around. We would normally sit at around 10. We lost a couple of guys, and now we're back up to 10. So now we're taking one of the foremen and we're transitioning him into a project manager role.
Awesome. What's the scope of that? Will he price the jobs as well?
No. So he's going to run all the foremen. So we've got a new guy coming on in January that we think is going to be able to step up into a foreman position. So he's done it before, but he wants to come on board. We've pretty much done the deal with him now. He's going to come on board early Jan. So he's going to fill that. So then we'll go back to having 3 foremen. Then the project manager will sit between them and me. So I don't get drawn into that. So it's going to give me more time to work on a handover. So each job will price, it's detailing it. Because it's so frantic before. By the time you get it in and you get it priced and you've repriced some sections and then you get it across and you meet the guys on site and you give them so, and things will get missed. So we're in the middle of it going, oh God, no, that's a variation. Quickly, let's talk to the client and get this signed. So now from the get-go already, we started Martin on kind of understanding how to do all this. We've lifted his scope up. You were showing him how to do
What's his name?
Martin Monks.
What a great name.
Yeah. It's good. Everyone remembers that. So we've got him at this. So then he's like, great. So he's going to understand all his scope of these jobs. We started already, and he said, look, all new jobs going forward are just a new practice to go, right, for every new job, you go back to your structure, you go back to your checklists, you go back to what you've got. Because when you've got 3 foremen and multiple jobs, and then you might peel a builder off to a job that doesn't need a foreman just because you've got guys there. So he'll be minding all of those guys.
Awesome.
And that's going to take the pressure away from me just to do my roles even better.
Do you have the top 15 foreman tasks? Because your project manager should know all those, and then he should train all the foremen in that. So that's going to take stuff off you, like how to run client meetings, how to do toolbox meetings, how to do forecast versus labour hours, etc., etc.
I haven't got that one.
Oh, it's gold. Because you go, I'm going to train you how to do 1 task a week.
Yeah.
So you're going to be doing forecast versus actual. You're going to get the job sheets from the guys. And then you're going to teach them back costing. Okay, so for over the next 12 weeks, we're going to learn back costing. And you just get 1 thing a week, and then you'll buy back 1 to 2 days a week, easy.
Well, that was it. Like, so the one big thing I've bought back since I started is I brought in a QS. So tried QSs because I had done for years. Yeah. But I'd nearly given up. You know, I'd get them and I get this lazy looking Excel spreadsheet that was kind of terrible. It didn't fit inside my system. So then I couldn't back cost well because it's not done in my software. I couldn't track it live to the boys' hours on their app and their timesheets. Whereas now I found a QS who will work inside my system.
Awesome.
He will literally load it into my cloud software. It's in there.
Happy days.
And that's finally a game changer for me.
And is he part-time, full-time, outsourced?
He's a contractor, but the idea is he takes on a limited amount of builders. He doesn't need to do it. Like he's an older guy, and he's just like, he said, I just do this because I like doing it.
Nice.
He said, I like working with nice builders I get along with, and so he's there. So he comes as part of the team. Like he would come out to team meetings if I need the QS to come to site, meet clients, do everything else.
Oh, it sounds brilliant.
Kid him out and chain construction gear. He's like, essentially, he said, I'm like an employee. I said, I'm just not an employee.
How good is that? Where's he based?
And he's in the city.
Oh,
yeah.
Sounds awesome.
So he's great. So straight away, any residential job that's got reasonable sets of plans is there. When they don't as well, now we do elemental pricing.
Oh, okay.
But we don't.
So like what, 2 to 3 hours, and here's.
So no, well, like when we say, hey, look, your design is basically not far enough evolved along to do proper pricing. Whereas I would need you to do all the design and the engineering and everything else, and then I can price your job. So if clients want to check it, then we'll say, well, look, we can do it, but that's not pricing. That's that's a service. So we charge for that service, but he's very cost effective. So it's a great service for the clients to basically go, we can take your 4 or 5 pages of concept design.
Yep.
Run it through my QS and basically say, look.
There we go. Run it true. I love it.
I knew it was going to happen. And he'll price it up. And then by the time, if they stick to that plan and what we tell the architect, we can make sure it stays there. And then our clients stay happy with their architects. They don't get frustrated when their intended budget of 500,000 becomes 800,000, and everyone stays happier, and then they will recommend the architects, so the architects stay happier. And so we protect everyone by spending a small amount of money at the start.
Awesome. Sounds like you build a good team and building a great foundation now. Yeah.
So he doesn't do commercial pricing, so I haven't solved that problem yet.
Yeah. What's the split of jobs? Because we saw that you do commercial and resi. What's your split? What sort of work do you do?
We try keep it quite 50-50. So resi hones great builders, and we've always had a love for it. We'll never leave it. But we do renovations. We don't target new builds because often it's just not our passion in the field. We love taking a house that looks so ordinary from the street and just making it wow. So that's where all our guys would say that straight up. That's what they enjoy. So we're like, great, that makes good builders. It's usually harder than a new build, so we'll do that. But then commercial, I diversify because Shane used to do it before me. We always did a little bit and said, oh, I'll get into it. And through a friend of mine who had some cool shop fit outs that were pretty trendy and fun to do, we got in there, and then we got into medical. So we started doing phlebotomy labs, which led us into hospitals. Now we do a lot of work for Allevia Hospital.
And what's the difference in margin typically between commercial and res?
Yeah, so normally commercial you're looking at, margins closer to 10%.
Yeah,
when it gets to real high-rise stuff, those margins are like 7 or 8%.
Yeah. You become more of a labour hire company in some ways. Essentially,
but the take on it is that obviously some of the things are different. So if I put a heating system in your house and you say, James, I need a couple of heat pumps in as part of the whole project, and you go, great, there's 3 heat pumps, it's 20 grand for 3 massive heat pumps. Done. But if I put a heating system in a commercial building, you're like, it's 300 to 400 grand. Or more, or 500 grand. And you're making your margin on there. But it's building a team. It was tougher that it was learning the science behind building systems, and there's a lot more parts to the building code that you have to learn. So it wasn't easy in the start, but now we've kind of honed it quite well. We're quite good at it.
Awesome.
So, and then our P&Gs, so we tend to knock it down and kind of roll in the dirt on margins and try compete there. But we do compete very well against the big companies. So we're competing against huge companies with hundreds of staff.
Right.
But our P&Gs aren't as high.
Right.
Because I don't have 5 quantity surveyors sitting in an office that have to be paid weekly to find something to do. I don't have big expensive offices. I don't have these things where I need to increase my P&Gs on these jobs. So we do it. So and we do a bit of heritage work. So we get some listed buildings. We do funded projects.
Awesome. Margins higher on lists. I would imagine margins are higher on heritage buildings.
It depends on the job. So I'll tailor it to a job and to a client and what it needs to be and how intricate it's got to be. So we do some work for Auckland Council.
Okay.
But it depends on how intricate the job is going to be as to where we'll sit with our margin. And then we do other jobs that are funded. So we'll help clients and they'll be applying for applications. So I've had the Ministry of Culture and Culture and Heritage paying my bill. I've had lotteries pay my bill.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do some unusual projects.
How long does it take to? Because on Friday we're going to our new house, and we take possession February the 3rd. How long does it typically take to get consent to close in a carport into a garage? Do you reckon?
You'll have to look at your zone. Does it trigger resource consent?
I presume so.
Yeah.
Well, what triggers resource? Because we'll definitely need building consent.
Yeah.
What triggers resource consent?
It'll depend on its position and how close to the road, your zone, for where it's zoned.
So, what's been why did you join TPB? And then what's been most useful or helpful so far out of, resources, systems, summit, coaching, etc.?
I suppose the join was, it kept coming up my feed. And I'd always had like a little bit of a loose interest. And then I was getting to the point, I suppose, I was so busy working on some projects, I didn't have time to hustle and keep calling clients and architects and everyone and assist, be the all helpful guy, answer everyone's questions so that these projects kept moving at pace to kind of fill out in front of me. So we ended up getting a little bit quieter. No one losing a job. It's just like, hey, there's no overtime. And I think it's evolving because we had this great business. Everyone knows about us. It's a bit like I'm Auckland's best kept secret. So I kind of didn't want to be Auckland's best kept secret anymore. So we didn't advertise. Besides some signage on a van and stick some sign out the front of his site, we didn't advertise. Never needed to. But as it evolves, people are going to start finding everything online. It's just evolving as generations change and how they find things. So we're like, okay, we need 100%. To change to marketing. We need to start marketing. So it was that. But then it was also, well, now that I had that little bit of time, a little bit of relief where I wasn't as busy, which turns out later I got really busy hustling to make myself busy again. But I was like, I need to also prepare once I get to that upper level of what I can handle in gross turnover. I'm going to get so busy again, it's just going to feel like me again. And I didn't want to go there again. I kind of needed, there's got to be a better way to do this so that you can systemize. And you nearly need to you can't remove yourself because you know you're really good and clients want to deal with you, but you nearly need to kind of remove yourself so that you kind of imagine it's run like a company where there's not an owner, it's just loads of investors, and how is it run most professionally as possible.
Exactly.
And how would you keep growing and become a huge behemoth? Like
100%.
And you can pick a point where you kind of go, hey, look, that's enough for me. It's everything I need, and I enjoy this, and I don't need it. But like, for me, I kind of said, I wouldn't like to go too far, but now I can go, yes, I could, because I can see light kind of at the end of the tunnel, because I'm finding a way to buy back some time.
Awesome.
Finding the parts of the business that I'm really good at and I like doing. So
which parts are your genius zone? Have you done that exercise yet?
Yeah, I have, and it's kind of changing because my wife was a BDM for the Hilton Group of New Zealand.
Okay.
So she's amazing. You put her in a room of 100 people she's never met before, and she'll come out of that room having shake hands with everybody in the room, met everybody, and made an impact. She's great that way. So she'll be the one to spend a lot of time meeting new people and just building new relationships.
Hey, quick pause on today's episode. If you're listening to this and thinking, that sounds like my business, then let me take a minute to tell you who we are and what we do. Hi, I'm Marty Amos, founder and CEO of The Professional Builder. We've worked with over 3,100 building company owners since 2004. And what we do is we help you install specific systems into your business, like the 10-step sales process, so you're converting more of the quotes that you're putting out without competing on price. Marketing systems that turn your word of mouth into something predictable rather than just hoping that the phone rings. Financial reporting from our in-house team of specialists, so you know exactly how every job is progressing, where you're at in terms of work in progress, and your back costing in real time. Not finding out 3 months later when your accountant tells you the bad news. We help you get your org chart right so you got the right people on the right bus in the right seats without having to micromanage them and stand over them. Then we help you hire those people and get rid of the bad eggs. So we'll help you build a pipeline, add the right margins, so you can actually pay yourself what you're worth. So if you're doing over 500,000 in revenue and you know something needs to change, but you're not sure where to start, jump on theprofessionalbuilder.com. You can either book a call, speak directly with one of our team, or take the business health audit quiz to find out where your biggest constraint is right now that's holding you back. So if you book a call, just mention you came from the podcast, and the guys will be happy to have a chat and answer any questions you've got. No pressure, no pitch. All right, let's get back to it.
But at the same time, I'm just great at those signs. If once the deal starts moving and you know it's real and they've been qualified and you're getting into that zone, people love to meet with me because I'm really great at the science behind building and understand what it takes and finding ways to assist architects. So then the architects are happy because their clients are happy, because they don't want to design something, then it not all get built, and they get mad with everybody and they're grumpy with the architect. And I've seen ones in the past where then the client doesn't want to talk with the architect anymore, and I want to tweak detail, and I'm like, I can't go back to the architect because the client doesn't speak with them. So we've had those ones, whereas now we're trying to get involved more at the ground early on. So it's full relationship. So you're kind of working together with the client and the architect a lot more. And those ones work better. Always have.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Being involved in that section of it is where I'm invaluable, and I just see like the architects and the engineers all looking to me and going, great, you're like bringing all these elements together, and that's what makes me happy. So that stuff I love to do. So that's my bit. That's what I'll focus on making more and more time for, as
Nice.
I save time everywhere else and keep going through it. So
Yep. Cool.
get the QS moving more, get Valerie into BDM. The new year we have to get the VA, so we've approached a few companies.
Awesome.
So that's underway. So I think they're actually hunting for a VA for us now to come back.
Perfect.
They're sending us some
Yep.
CVs. So they'll do all the boring admin, make sure the right invoice is connected to the right
Yep.
client. And
Are you going to hire a contract administrator, or what's the role that the VAs can do?
Yeah. So pretty much doing the boring office admin.
Yep.
Yeah, that's our first VA.
Cool.
We'll go from there.
They're such a game changer. Like, we've got 30 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just can't imagine doing it any other way. Like, we enjoy having the office at home. You know,
Yep.
that's the thing. If I finish work at 5 p.m, go upstairs, kids are there.
Yep.
I can play with the kids for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
If I feel like doing something, I can do it. If I feel like working, I can work.
Yep.
If I want to stop, I have no commute.
Nice.
So,
Love it.
whereas if I hire a lot of staff, then I have to get them a bigger office and
Yep.
everything else. So no, for now the VA will do, and we'll keep working with our QS,
Perfect.
and then we keep lifting up our PM into that position. So he's also doing a online uni degree. So
nice.
we pay for the degree.
Yep.
He's committed his time.
Is he bonded to you or anything?
So no, he's committed.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
massively
cool.
committed. He's in for the long haul. Like, you know, we did a deal with him when I sponsored him to move here.
Is he Irish as well?
Nope, English, and sponsored a few guys over the years.
Yeah.
And the deal was, when I sponsored him to move in, he said, look, so long as you always give me a ladder to climb, I'll stay with you. And I said, well, fair enough.
Yep.
And that's what I've done.
He meant that figuratively, not literally, right? Like,
Yep.
Perfect.
But that's the thing. So he's been kind of working his way up and up and up. So
Awesome.
this is just his next step. So no, he's doing really well. So
Awesome.
that'll free me up on site.
Love it.
So
And what have you found, what has been most helpful, useful in terms of like plug and play content, having coaches, one-on-one financial review, the summits, specialist coaches, accountability? Like,
it's hard to pick it all. Look, the coaches is invaluable that time. Like to get in with your coach and just do it. 'Cause sometimes you don't know exactly what's broken.
Yeah.
So you nearly need to just kind of, to your coach, just explain how your last week or fortnight went and what went good and what didn't feel good, and they'll find the problem and say, well, maybe you should try this, because sometimes it's not all doom and gloom and it's on the bottom and the business is falling apart, but there's always a way. Because mine was that I was going to hit a ceiling and have no structure, so we had no aside from bringing in some software to help with job tracking and everything else, we didn't have a proper systemized, this is how you guys do everything. We're going in and we go, great, you guys haven't been on top of health and safety, can you do this and do this? But we didn't have an actual this is how we do it. So now
I think that's
writing SOPs for everything.
nice.
So then the guys actually go, well, look, there's no argument. You can just go back to an SOP, and they'll sit in file with the project manager as well. So basically he can kick ass and go, no, I told you before, and here it is. This is how you do it.
Exactly.
Here's a copy.
I think that's one of the fast tracks, that because we see under the hood of like 1,000 companies a year now, we go and interview the best people, someone who's got a great variations process, who's pricing great high-end remodeling or reclad jobs, someone who's great at getting apprentices up, or someone who's just hired a GM and structured a buy-in with them for their company. Like, great, let's go and interview them, get everything that they've done, template it, and make it available for everyone.
Yeah, but everyone's business is going to be different. But there's some bits, if you can just keep spending enough time and that's why I keep going back on it. Like, and I keep going back to some of the replays. There'll be one bit of someone's story that will resonate, and then you go, oh, maybe I didn't do that better.
Yeah.
And it's all little things. Like, I was quiet with work, and I was like, oh, yeah, actually, before anyone told me, I used to let her drop, every neighbour for a job all the time, but I stopped doing it.
Did you get Martin from just down the road in St Heliers? I'm going to take a photo of it and put it into the group later. He did his door hanger and put it out round. It's in our Tarawera Terrace one. I'll take a photo and I'll put it into the.
No, I haven't got it. He might have landed in, or he might have saw my truck in the driveway and be like, "Oops, that'd be James's." Yeah. And that's the thing. So we reinvigorate things, improves them, and do them better.
Awesome.
But this time, it's systemize it. So you have a procedure for how you do it, and you've got templates for how you do it. So, you know, we got out our first kind of 1% referral, and we start getting it out to some people. Then we went back and we were going through, and after the last summit, we came up with some more ideas for some other people that we want to give it to. And, you know, these are game changers. And then you go out, but then you speak, you tell everybody.
Yep.
So I was telling a friend, and then, you know, he's like, oh, actually, my accountant, because I do a lot of work in the medical industry, and he's like, my new accountant. He's an accountant for mostly people in the medical sector. And if you're going to start building in the medical sector, who are you going to talk to first?
Yes.
So you talk to everybody, tell them what you're doing, everyone gets excited behind it, and then all of a sudden doors just keep opening up. But you that's why now I share the story, telling everyone.
What have been your biggest wins since joining?
The time back has been amazing to get out from some of this pricing. That's given me time to...
How much have you bought back, roughly?
It'll vary as to how much he's pricing at a time for me, but quite a lot over these last few months in terms of me getting a QS up and running. But that means each time a job comes in on a residential job, I'm not pricing that. So
For the one?
yeah, not pricing it. I just review it, alter anything that's out of whack because it's my business and my responsibility, and then it's good to send. But I found something that's good enough, so that's huge.
It's a game changer.
And that means I'm across everything else. So now, you know, I have the longer terms plans for later in the future about getting a junior QS as well. So I'll still keep my other QS, and then I'll have a junior QS who will help with programming and scheduling and everything else. So once we can grow it enough, I'm kind of starting to build ideas about the structure of kind of what's that table and pyramid going to look like. It's kind of going, who am I going to fit into the right slots? Because I won't just keep filling builders in at the bottom.
No, you need to, it's a big one, is buy back your capacity as the owner, the founder, and because your most valuable inputs will come from correct decision making based off your numbers and how you're feeling, not off you doing some extra work or putting some flyers or whatever.
Yeah, well, I had to do that exercise with Valerie to show her even her hourly rate, and then going, you know, we can totally get a VA to start doing some of your boring menial tasks.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, she's a really hard worker. She was like, oh no, I can get it all done and this done. And I was like, no,
that's not the point.
That's not the point. You will get overrun if we give this role away, and you just have to keep an eye on
buys back capacity, and now you can go and do the marketing, do the design, do strategic alliances, get the 1% out there. And if you took 4 hours and you'd put it towards that as opposed to doing payroll or whatever, massive difference in payback.
Yeah. Oh, look, even how she's thinking now and doing it, because I've got her linked up with ladies in construction and everything else.
Awesome.
So
how's she found the women in construction?
Yeah, good. I mean, she needs to get back on the horse, so James and I were kind of nudging her again. But it was been good because the whole idea of a lot of, and it was a lot of the women I've met kind of at this kind of in the Gold Coast and stuff as well, and how they spoke about it, about feeling like an imposter, kind of going, well, I'm not a builder.
Yeah.
They didn't feel like to do it, and I was like, well, I don't need you to be a builder. You need you to do all these other amazing skills, and you're probably really good at something that we're not using, and that's usually the case. So for the first time ever, I think she's fitting into her space in the company. So like, I fell ill at the start of the week, got a bug off the kids, and she stepped in. She was like, no, cool, just give me your phone. And
bam, I've got this.
Yep. She hit it out of the park. She was great, and everyone was fine. She got to see what it was like to be me for the day and how much it rings. So it's just fun. But
awesome.
Even if I get away for a round of golf, now she's like, "Please divert your phone." And I'm like, "Oh God, okay."
Happy days.
Yeah,
that's good.
So
how'd you find the summit?
Summit's really good. So yeah, if you get anyone to come in, I recommend as early as possible.
Get them to attend the summit. Yeah.
And don't just attend one.
Like dive in.
Very different, because I nearly didn't come to the first one in Auckland because I was like, oh, I've only just joined like a week ago. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get it. I haven't been through all the content. There's like there was so much, and it was on the old platform before Cole built the new one. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get it. And then they were like, no, come on, you should come. So it did, and I found it very helpful. I came out of it energized, and it kind of gave me a boost forward.
Yep.
But there was all sorts of bits, and it kind of helped me hone in on which bits I was going to move with, and to kind of concentrate some of my efforts about going, right, okay, I need to get this marketing kind of levers going. I need to start pulling on these different things while I'm quiet with work, and then I can, once that's working and flowing, I can work on something else and get onto SOPs. But then going to the next one, I was so excited, I was like signed up, and then I was like, going to the next one was different, because at this point, things were starting to work. So then you think different, and you're thinking the next step. And then you start to you kind of start to look at the guys who are really smashing it out of the park, and like Richard Fiskey and Lloyd and all these guys, and you kind of go, whilst a while ago I would have thought, that's very, they've just got very lucky and they've worked really hard and they've had a few lucky breaks. It's like, well, actually no, it's not all luck. I mean, you might get a lucky break with a good client here and there to go, they were nice to work with, but you build that for people you want to work with. So now, even our online social media, we have kind of sub-trades reaching out going, hi, saw your stuff online, we'd be so keen to work with you. Even some of our other subbies that we have worked with for a long time, we're like, seeing all your stuff online, like next time you're doing something, let us know in the same job, like we can pitch in and let's do it together. And so you get people who go, I like what you're doing, I like where this is heading.
What was the highlight of the Gold Coast for you?
Gold Coast for me, I suppose, reinvigorated me. We got a little bit busy. I had to go back to Ireland. We had a tragedy. I lost a nephew.
Shit! Sorry to hear that.
When doing that, I suppose was coming back and being in it, and I feel like I was getting caught and losing. So my default diary was kind of falling aside, and instead of setting a structure to go, here's my time for pricing and here's my time for this, it was kind of going back into, I've got 2 office days and 3 days if I'm out taking as many meetings and putting it fire. So I was kind of just falling off, and going back to the Gold Coast kind of came back and going, right, let's pull out my little TPB folder again, where I file all my notes and I go, right, let's sort this and let's get back on track. So it kind of got me back on track, but I'll go again, because where I'll be at another time will be in a different part of my business, and I'll have different problems to solve. So I'll be like, oh yeah, cool, I've solved these, and I've got the PM, and I've got the 3 foremen I want, and I've got the builders I want, and everyone coming in has got SOPs, and we're doing it, and Valerie has KPIs, and if they want to raise, they know, have you achieved your KPIs? Yes? No? Shall we sit down? Shall we defer it until you do? So that's going to be fine, but I'm sure by the time I'm there, I'll be struggling with some other points. And there'll be someone else who'll have solved it. So I like that the content is there. You can do it in your time. It's like that you got the online stuff, but I still like...
In persons are different, right? Belly to belly, getting to know people.
Yeah, look, just find someone, just talk to someone. Someone will have solved it. And even if they haven't solved it, they'll come up with a good idea at the table. So the bits in there, lots of it's good. Some of the stories are good, but some of the best bits are when you're like posed with solving your own problems in your business, but then talk about them with the 10 people on the table.
100%
and
right.
And then mix and do it on another table. That's the best bit of the summit.
Awesome.
And they might not have even solved your problem, but someone there is genuinely knowing your pain and suffering and what you've gone through, and they'll come up with an idea and you're going, shit, yes, let me write that down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How's your mindset changed and evolved since coming aboard?
I'm now okay to grow. That's okay.
What do you mean by that?
Well, before, the thought of growing past where I was just seemed like stress. So now there's that many new systems being written and structure coming in that I'm okay to grow now.
Awesome.
I probably didn't want the stress to go bigger again.
A massive thing. Most building company owners through 5, 10, 35 years go through this feast to famine roller coaster and then never get out of it.
No, because you get to that level where you can peak and go what you can handle and how much you can juggle. And then you don't want to look ahead, and the hunger dies off because you kind of go...
Because you associate growth with pain of busyness, chaos.
And you kind of go, oh, I don't keep fighting ahead. I don't keep hustling. I don't keep calling those leads up and chasing those. It dies off, and then you get through the work and it slowly goes down, and then it'll get tied into economic circles as well. But you'll go up and down. Whereas, if you hit your limit, and that could be, 1 million, 3 million, 5 million, it's different for everyone to go, this is how much I can handle without cracks appearing. Now I'm going, actually, I can see it going higher for me.
Absolutely.
Before I would have unanimously said, look, that was me. I'm tapped out. That's as much as I can juggle and do it well. Any more than that, I'm going to make a big mistake or I'm going to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
So
where's your revenue at the moment? Or what will it finish this year at?
We'll wrap up. I'll have to revise that. I've just landed a few good jobs.
Well, tell me more. What do you land at?
So we have another big job for Levy Hospital.
Okay.
Yep. We've taken on another new client who owns a lot of property. So we're transforming a couple of big commercial buildings for him.
Awesome.
We're just in the midst of reviewing final pricing for a client who's just got consent for another transformation of a house in Remuera.
Carport to a garage.
We're actually closing two sides of his carport. So
really?
So it didn't trigger consent.
Where in Remuera?
Bell Road.
Oh, okay.
So not far from where your new place is.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah. So
how long's consent taking?
No, he got his consent. His consent was for all the stuff in the house.
Right.
For the garage, he didn't need a consent because it's still a carport. So we we could put a door on the carport. Mm-hmm. We could put a side on it. The other sides are open.
So what are the rules on that? Because we had big discussions on this as well. Like, do we leave the one that's facing the sea? We put a door on it and we close door there, close that one, but that's open to the sea where the front of the house,
The way the architect got around this one, we put a fence on the other two sides.
Okay.
So we did a nice, it's been done now. We're going to do a nice panel fence. So we'll have like nice planed up 3x2s, beautiful fence.
Yep.
Copies the front of the property. So when you open the garage door, you'll see a fence there and a fence there. Because they moved in and got all excited. The kids left their bikes there on this carport right by the street front, and the bikes
someone
disappeared.
flogged them. Yeah.
So we were like, okay, if we could just close it in. So they didn't want to bother with a resource consent. They wanted a building consent only.
Awesome.
So, the architect looked into their zone. He was like, well, cool, I can do this, and that won't trigger resource consent.
Perfect.
And you still have a carport, but you can put a door on it. It's a good year for me to be doing TPB. It's a good year for me to be growing. It's a good year for me for where I was at. I've been on that committee for about 12 years. So
gotcha. Awesome.
Finally, both the kids are in school. So I said, oh, yeah, I can step in. I can do it.
Well done.
I now have I now have the time.
Yeah, happy days. Which brings me to a good segue. How have you evolved as a leader over the past couple of years?
I think it's coming out better now. I mean, I think I've had to learn, and I guess that was the question at the start. Like, can you be coachable? And I said yes. And my wife was like, I don't know if you can. And I'm usually pretty good to learn. Like, if I pick up a book, I'll take the lessons in and I'll learn it. But I suppose this time I had to see my downfalls. Like, my ability to go, oh yeah, I'll do that. And that was my worst thing. Whereas now I had to stop saying, oh, I'll do that. And I'll do that. My greatest win, to my wife a couple of weeks ago, I came in and I told her that. I told Marty, I was like, oh, I'll do that. And he's like, no, just give me the contact of who it is and I'll do that. And he stopped me and told me no. And I was
perfect. Like, I love it.
So she was like, well, fuck, that's amazing. Like, that's brilliant. Like, but you also, I have to stop. But then he stopped me. So I was like, okay, that's when you know it's working.
Have you taught your team PSR? Problem solution. Yeah. What a game changer that is.
Yeah. A few of them when they first came in, they were like, oh, fuck, do I have to come out with that many? And I was like, listen, don't worry. If you can just smash it out and you know the resolution, it's
happy
not a problem. But if you can't, you've got to figure it this way. And this is how you got to do it.
Because so much about building and business is problem solving.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how you get to the destination as long as you get there.
So much of building is even just so practical, less than it is technical. You've got to know all these technical skills and know about products, but it's so practical in how you'll solve a problem from how you get a design on paper into build reality.
Exactly.
And it's working. It's working for the guys. But now it also means I don't have to solve every problem. Whereas before I would have just gone, instead of challenging them to grow and do this, because the more they do it, then eventually they're not going to call me on these things at all. They're going to be like, I know how to figure this out. Even if it's a new problem, they go, I know how to work it out. Yeah. Then they'll have someone else to call before they call me, so my time is protected, so I can go and make new leads and,
play golf with your phone diverted.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, my golf, I might actually break 100.
Hey, let's go. So where do you want to take chain construction? What's the vision for what's possible?
You know, it was only about 2 weeks ago we were saying I kind of want to revise my plan, because you kind of set that plan about where you want to be and where you want to go, and I kind of want to redo it, because
I think once you get wins and you get confidence and you're in momentum, it's like profit is prince, cash is king flow, but momentum is emperor, because you're like, well, I'm winning, I'm stacking wins, like more is possible.
I think everyone doing it, you should put it in your calendar like once a quarter.
Yep.
To basically go, you sit down and pull out that sheet where you decided where you want to be. And I can't remember what I told James originally, what the plan was. I'd have to look it up, but I know it's changed, and that's why I can't remember it, because I was like, no, it's gone further.
We can do more.
But it's gone further, but I mean, I'll put a load of time in, but it'll be time on different tasks. It won't be going back still on the site solving all those problems. It'll be like, no, I'll have proper handovers and systems in place, and that every price job is there, so that every man there knows exactly if they're touching anything that could be a variation, and they know how to handle it.
Yep.
And they know how to inform the clients, so informed clients are happy clients, so nothing's a surprise, and it's all tracked for them along the way. They know exactly which point of the job is firing perfect and where they found issues, and that's it. Especially in renovations, they need to know as soon as possible. So that's what we're kind of making happen now, faster than we ever have.
So we're seeing Matt and Abby Lynn. Have you met them?
Yes.
From lovely couple, awesome couple,
really nice.
And weapons as well. He's very switched on. She's awesome as well. But they're in boardroom, and I was thinking you must be getting to a similar size to them.
I probably haven't thought about boardroom, because I'm still getting so much out of this.
Out of the fundamentals,
You're just really redoing it all.
It's like you now that when you step up again, you're now with the Richard Fiskies, the Lloyds, the Matt, etc., and you kind of got people who have done the fundamentals for a year, and now they're solving like, how do I structure a buyout, how do we set up a second location, etc. So
yeah, and that'll be the different point, is how do you bring in, an affiliate offshoot business? How do you bring in anything else that complements each other? So you're going to go, well, if I'm spending lots of money on this and it's killing it, what else do I bring in?
Yeah.
And that's where we'll be there. Whereas before I was like, oh God, no. If we started another business, keep it anything but in construction. Let's not put all our hats in there. But now I'm more comfortable with it. Like, with enough systems in place, I don't mind. So now our targeted gross turnover and margins and profits, those targets will change. And
so what are you targeting at the moment?
So look, to turn over 4 million would be great. But now we want to structure a plan where we go, when are we going to get to 5? When are we going to get to 6? And when are we going to get to 7? And those figures before would have been like, oh my God, we'll have a mental breakdown. Like if I tried to do it the way I was doing it, because I'd be doing it all, and it would just mean more hours, more time, without a structure. Whereas now I go, actually, I could do it, because it won't all rely on me. They'll, there's a system, there's a guy for pricing them, and there's a I just review. There's a guy to project manage them. There's foremen in place that know what they're doing with responsibilities, and they're engaged and involved, and a way to reward them for that. So now I could see it going a hell of a lot bigger. And that's kind of what we'll focus on. So
100%.
Every quarter I'll probably revise that, go and
bump it up,
come up with time, and it can just be, oh great, like if I can get to here on this level of growth, I'll know how many more leads and how many more sales I need to do. I've always done well on converting leads. I used to track them before, and now we've started tracking them again so that we can have numbers. But I mean, when I used to track them before TPB, which was probably a couple of years ago, I used to convert about 85% of my leads.
Awesome.
So we knew we always were.
It's almost arguably a little bit high, and you might be leaving a bit of money on the table.
Yeah.
Or a lot is coming from referral. Those people trust you massively. Typically it's one of those two things.
Well, there's a lot of referrals. But a lot of my clients and my client circles are getting older. So they're going to retire, move to the regions, different things. So a lot of those referrals and leads and things are going to go dead. So I need to get them more and invite new circles in, and I need to use.
Are you in a BNI or anything like that?
Yep.
Okay.
No. So aside, well, we're going to keep pushing the 1%. For we haven't had a pickup on it yet, but we've got it out with quite a few people now.
Awesome. Yep.
That'll buy off. You're in the bays. You'll see in February a bus running up and down here with my face on the back.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. How good is that?
Because it's just right time with everything else going on.
Awesome.
And we're trying to push back more into our resi side.
Yeah.
So we've had huge successes in commercial, and that's holding steady, and will continue to hold steady the way things are looking. But we want to push back. We want enough of the residential stuff where, you know, we change people's lives. Like it's fun to do it. It's fun to meet a client and come away with them like friends, and I like
100%. And a new garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say to a building company owner who's maybe stuck, they've plateaued, or they're just, you know, the business isn't going how they want?
God, there's a way to do it, and that's, you know, and don't do it the hard way. Someone else has figured this out. Like, you spend so long, you know, becoming a great builder, and the way I describe it to my young apprentices is like, okay, you'll spend about 3 to 4 years as an apprentice. Then you're going to spend the next few years really honing your skill, and that's where they become really good builders. And at that point, you've spent a huge chunk of your life. You know, you're 7-8 years in just to become a really good builder, and no one's taught you anything about business. You know, as an apprentice or in any system, and you know, I've trained at the other side of the world. I came to New Zealand. I'm a carpenter and a joiner. I have technically 2 trades, and no one teaches you the numbers. So they'll, you know, they might do 1 or 2 practices where they'll do a takeoff on something small like a deck. That's it. No one teaches you business. No one teaches you how to read a balance sheet. So when you get to there and you get stressed, find someone else who knows what they're doing and get help. And even if, like me, you think you knew it pretty well, and turns out I was okay at it, there was still problems where I couldn't systemize every part of it. So people might find different avenues, but for me, TPB, and I'd looked at a lot. I looked at quite a few, you know, enough Zooms, a bit different ones, and having the access to different coaches when I need them, and kind of different kind of webinars and stuff that about different parts of it, that's made it good. So,
awesome. So I'm intrigued, what differentiated TPB from the others, and you don't have to name them, but the others that you spoke to, what struck a nerve, or what, you know, vibed?
It just seemed a bit more right on the nose for the construction industry. And there is others that say they're construction. Sorry, that's my alarm. Oh, it keeps going off. There is others that say they're construction, but I don't feel like they were all in.
Yep.
I don't feel like they understood exactly what was happening on the ground. So like everyone I've met in TPB has cemented what the first feeling I had. I was like, okay, no, this kind of seems right. It was a little bit of a leap at the start because I was like, okay, I'm going to commit to do this, but I kind of got it, and I was like, look, it's got to be accountability. I can't dip a toe in and then expect, you know, it all solved. You have to solve it. It's just literally, here's a load of tools, and it's tools for every level. Like, if you're really stuck and you're down and out and you're on your luck and you're losing money, there's a way to market cheap if you need marketing. You know, I wasn't there, so I was luckily able to just throw some money at it and go, not my zone of genius, I'll pay someone to do it.
That's the spirit.
And that's fine, because it fell underneath my PBR number. So I was able to do that. But for someone else who goes, hey, look, I know I'm, you know, down, I can't do it. And they're like, well, great. There's loads of templates. Use those. Those will fix that problem. But also while you're there and you're spending some time on it, work on when you pick back up, you know, what systems am I going to put in place so that next time I have more time and do it. So if someone else is there, I reckon there's no one who couldn't find a way. There might be some people who are absolute fucking geniuses, and how they got there I don't know. But I reckon there's not anyone who wouldn't come into some part of it and go, shit, that was great. Like, I didn't know that. Or that's like how I do it, but that's a bit better. You know, there's something for everyone. So yeah, you can't know it all.
No.
Like, how many coaches you got now?
About 35, I think.
So you take 35 coaches, And then you take all those different people and you look at the guys like who will focus like on, you know, socials, or they'll different guys who focus on different parts, or guys who are a whiz with the books and the accounting. And you know, if your coach doesn't know it, and they usually do know it anyway, it's kind of going, well, you know, I've still got an access to jump on a chat with one of these other guys who could do it, or I can jump on one of the meetings they're having with something else, or I can meet them face to face and go, hey, you know that thing you were talking about, like I caught one online with Gareth. Coach G. And he lives
in Tarawera Terrace as well, just around the corner.
Oh, no.
So him and V, have you met V O'Donnell, his wife?
No.
She's our operations manager. She was the global she was the ops manager for Les Mills before she came to us. But they're married and literally live 50 metres around the corner from me in Tarawera. Crazy, right?
Oh, Jesus.
We might have to have a St Heliers TPB party, Christmas party.
Oh, there you go, mate. Look, I'll put pizzas in there. Turn on the light for Shenanigans Bar.
There we go. Oh, I love it. Does that light up?
It does.
I love it.
Is it purple?
I think it'd be green, wouldn't it?
It's kind of blue, yeah.
Okay.
Team fucked it up. And his one was great because LinkedIn, and we're like, you know, started feeding content now to Instagram and Facebook and all these things. But where it's really taken off with connections is LinkedIn.
Interesting.
So I gone from just having a LinkedIn that I never used to now connecting with so many people. But the connections that matter.
Yeah.
So in the new year, we have a lot of meetings to have with council contract managers, and these are all the people that I wanted to meet and say, actually, you know, I'm accredited, I'm on your kind of ready contract system, so you're allowed to use my company. And this is what I do, and that's perfect. So LinkedIn is paying off massive.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
So it's different things, but someone else could have a great building kind of business, but they might not know, they might be missing something like there, because usually people that are on LinkedIn take their careers quite professionally. More so than, you know, you'll get a lot of people scrolling on Instagram that might think your pictures are pretty, but that's not going to help you bring in a new lead always. But LinkedIn was massive, and I kind of got that from catching. I caught 50 minutes of his before a meeting one day. I said, I'm not going to make it all, but I'm going to get 50 minutes of it in before I have to run, and that was amazing. So
I love it. James, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you today and hanging out and here in lovely St Heliers, and good to see great things happening to great people and that you're in awesome momentum.
Yeah, mate, I'm loving it.
Appreciate you.
Easy.
Awesome. Thanks.
Awesome.